Ever wondered where the idea of power to the people actually came from? It wasn't a sudden flash of genius, but a long, fascinating journey that took place in ancient Athens. The word itself, democracy, comes from two Greek words, demos, meaning the people, and kratos, meaning power. So, demokratia is literally people power. But how did this revolutionary idea take root? Let's dive into the story of how Athens created the world's first democracy. Our story begins around 600 BCE, long before democracy was a reality. Athens was in turmoil, with massive inequality between the rich aristocrats and the poor farmers, many of whom were falling into debt slavery. The city was on the brink of civil war. Enter Solon, a wise statesman and poet. Solon's reforms were the first crucial step. He canceled all debts, freed the debt slaves, and, most importantly, he gave more citizens a voice in the political process. He didn't create a full democracy, but he laid the essential groundwork, planting the seeds for what was to come. He showed that change was possible and that the power of the old elites could be challenged. After Solon, Athens went through a period of tyranny under a ruler named Pisistratus. Now, Tyrant sounds bad, and his rule was dictatorial. But ironically, he continued to weaken the power of the old aristocratic families. By championing the common people and funding public projects, he further leveled the playing field. His actions, though not democratic, unintentionally paved the way for the people to eventually seize power for themselves. He showed Athenians that the city could thrive even when the old noble families were in complete control. The real breakthrough came around 508 BCE, with a man often called the father of Athenian democracy. After the tyrants were overthrown, the old aristocratic factions tried to reclaim their power. But Cleisthenes, a nobleman himself, took a radical step. He sided with the people. His reforms completely restructured Athenian society. He broke the power of the old clans by creating 10 new tribes based on where people lived, not on their family ties. This mixed everyone up, forcing them to work together as citizens of Athens rather than members of competing families. This was the moment democracy was truly born. So, what did this new democracy look like? It was a system of direct participation. There were no professional politicians in the way we think of them today. If you were an eligible citizen, you didn't vote for a representative to make decisions for you. You went and made the decisions yourself. The main body was the Ekklesia, or the assembly. Any citizen could attend its meetings on a hill called the Nix, debate the issues of the day from going to war to building a new temple, and vote directly. Tumanachetis. They had the Boule, or the Council of 500. This was a group of 500 citizens, 50 from each of Cleisthenes' new tribes, who were chosen by lottery for a one-year term. Their job was to set the agenda for the assembly and handle the day-to-day administration of the city. Think about that. Your neighbor, the potter or the farmer, could be running the city next year. This use of a lottery, called sortition, was key. The Athenians believed it was the most democratic way to choose officials, as it prevented corruption and gave everyone an equal chance to serve. Even the courts, the dicasteria, were made up of large juries of hundreds of citizens, also chosen by lot. Now, we have to be honest about its limitations. Athenian democracy was far from perfect by our modern standards. It was highly exclusive. To be a citizen with political rights, you had to be an adult, freeborn male whose parents were both Athenian. This left out the vast majority of the population. Women had no political rights at all. The large population of slaves, who were the engine of the Athenian economy, were completely excluded. And the medics, the foreign residents who were often merchants and craftsmen vital to the city, also had no say. So, while it was people power, the definition of the people was very narrow. Despite these serious limitations, the significance of Athenian democracy is impossible to overstate. It was a revolutionary experiment that proved a state could be governed by its ordinary citizens. The ideals it championed: equality before the law. An active civic involvement became the foundation of Western political thought. It showed the world that there was an alternative to rule by kings, tyrants, or a small group of nobles. This ancient idea of people power has echoed through the centuries. inspiring countless movements for freedom and self-governance, right up to the present day. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this journey back to ancient Athens interesting, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more stories from history. See you next time.